A good Erev Shabbos, Parshas Pinchas. It's very interesting that last week's Parsha, Parshas Balak, ends with the story of Pinchas and what he did, the kinais, the zealousness that Pinchas acted with in order to remove the Aveira of Cosby and Zimri. And this week's Parsha describes his reward. There's a week gap, an entire week, between the action of Pinchas and the reward. Why do we break up the story? Why don't we just begin this week's Parsha with Pinchas's action? It's a good question. So the Bali Musar teach us the following lesson. And that is, when a person acts with kenois, with zealousness, even after we're done, we shouldn't be too quick to demand our reward. Sometimes you need to think about it for an entire week to make sure that the action that we took, the act that we did, actually was l'shem shamayim, for the sake of heaven. And if we're too quick to act and then demand that reward and wonder where the reward is, we probably did not act with the right intentions and we're lacking. That's why we wait an entire week. Pinchas acted a week ago. Got to think about it. Make sure that it was really done l'shem shamayim, and afterwards you can come along and say, oh, I know my original action was really done for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, without any personal agenda, without any bias. Rav Mordechai Druk, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Levracha, Magid in Yerushalayim, he passed away just a few years ago. He would say, he quipped, that when we find the story of Pinchas, it says that Vayar Pinchas saw what happened. What happened? Vayikach ramach biyodei. He took the spear in his hand. He saw what happened, and then he went and took the spear. Says in Mordechai Druk, nowadays what we do is we take our spear and we go start looking for the trouble. Who can I hit with this? Who can I take down? Who's doing something wrong for me to be able to take them down? We have to follow the example of Pinchas. Not to look for people's problems, not to look at it, but when we see something wrong taking place, to act swiftly. And once that action is done, take a breath. Step back, wait a little bit of time, and contemplate. Did I act l'shem shamayim? I know I did what I do, but was my action completely l'shem shamayim? And if the answer is yes, then we can go and receive reward. Have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos.